we're going to create a web gallery really quickly. File, Automate, and we can select Web Photo Gallery. This is going to allow us to put together a gallery here very easily. You can see more of this in the training that I have. We're going to be working with the banner, which is going to give us a little bit of extra detail that we can present here. There are different options that you can have. Large images, thumbnails, your custom colors if you wanted to, and then even security if you wanted to. Add your copyright notices and things like that. So, less security, more copyright information. These drop-downs are going to change the options that you can have here. We'll go through each real quick. Normally you have these two set on, so you can have the width and height attributes, as well as your normal UTF-8 encoding for Unicode encoding. You can change the extension as you need to. The banner is going to be the details that you see here. Contact information, date. You can specify the size of your images. We'll use the defaults, but you can change this as you need to. This allows you to make your thumbnails fit to a particular width or height, and you can also get your larger images because there's going to be thumbnails and larger images that you see. This allows you to sync up the larger images, and you can make them larger on presets, or you can change that resolution there as well. And by constraining them, both the width and the height, you can help to make sure that these images are going to be looking very close to each other. So that helps. What this does is it takes files that we have already and it makes large JPEGs and thumbnails out of them. So you can have large or custom sized thumbnails, or even smaller if you wanted to. You can have borders and things like that. And for the most part, this is what you would really set. Thumbnails, large image, banner, and then even the general. Normally the default's for general. And then you can browse for the source images to use the file browser as well, or you can just browse for them, as I made it nice and easy to do that. In the Done folder, those are our sources. You could include subfolders if you wanted to. Our destination is going to be the web, and you can see you have different styles as well that you can take a peek at. Really, if you're doing a lot of web design yourself, you don't necessarily want to even fiddle around with this too much, but this is a nice shell of an interface that you can actually manipulate afterwards yourself by just going into the code and making the appropriate changes. This will set things up for you very, very nicely. I did show you in other training the Dreamweaver version of doing this, and I like the way this is set up for Adobe, and it happens to work from your PSDs very, very nicely. And you can see you have a lot more options. So we'll hit OK. And there's going to be some work done. This takes a little bit of time. You can see the naming convention, the thumbnails are created, and things like that. And as we move forward, it's going to go through each image. And you won't get any advanced warning that it's done except for the pop-up of the gallery itself. Instead of looking at it within Internet Explorer, we'll take a peek at it within Firefox. As you can see here, Mozilla Firefox. So you can see that we need a little bit of work here. Our names were too long, and that's causing us to have to scroll here in our interface. It's a nice little interface put together nicely, and you can make adjustments as you need to. Again, you can see we have image information that pops up, and you can feel free to edit this particular source if you want to. It's pretty neat. You can see Firefox does a nice job of presenting the code. Very neat. You can bring this into Dreamweaver if you want to and make your adjustments as you need to. But if you just click on the image, it'll change that image. And dynamic HTML is displaying this other information here that you can turn off. And you can see it changes the image. And just the different names that we have there. And you could rename these files, but then you have to rename things as they're going to be fixed here. This is using a particular numbering system here. As you can see, 4 digits. You may not need that, but you get the idea. We have our title information here. And it's pretty neat and pretty handy to be able to work with this. And I encourage you to take this to the next level, work with the code within Dreamweaver, and really extend things to make your projects look their best. You see that we've been able to work with the PSD files to get them to come up really nicely using layer comps, and you can see that you can apply many, many effects to spice up your images, even if the images themselves aren't so perfect. You can see that even if we look here within this example, this isn't so bothersome anymore because of the enhancements that we've made, and it looks a lot better than the source image. If we just take a look at the web folder, we can take a little bit more detailed look at what's going on here. You have a thumbnail frame, and if we take a look in Firefox, I'll bring that up. This is where the thumbnails are. This is the frame. You can see that it's actually placed into frames, and this is that part that I said is coming out too big. And your index page, and you can see everything gets loaded. This is another frame here as well. If we take a look at the thumbnails folder, you can see these are our thumbnails, small little thumbnails. Our regular pages. So each of these are pages with the DHTML. Let's add it to it. So each of the pages that we have. And then the larger images as well as all the images that support things. So it doesn't put everything into a nice, neat way of doing things. The CSS is placed here as well. And the files themselves, the large Photoshop files that were converted to JPEGs, they're placed in our images folder. So you might want to nest them further, and then you can make the proper adjustments in the other pages as well, and even see how the CSS works. If we bring up Notepad, and then just bring that in, you get the idea this is using, but you get the control characters here, so you might want to bring that into Dreamweaver and take a peek at how that works. And then you can adjust the style sheet as you want to suit your needs. Very nice to be able to do that.